Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kage back with our Demon Hunter for patch 13.
TRISTRAM.
Looks like I was able to get right back in, so as you can see here, you still see the shutdown message. So what I've done is, I've turned off elective mode again. As you can see, I'm using Bola and Impale. The reason I'm doing this is because what I want to do for the first time through is I want to see what they do with the unlocks and how it feels playing with these restrictions. Now, obviously, you're going to be able to make your own builds and change things however you want, which is great. But I want to take a look at what they're planning to do for new players. I want to see what they're leaning you towards. Like, this is going to gear you towards creating a build with every single one of these abilities. So one primary, secondary, a defensive, and then one of each of these. Obviously, you know, if you've used the old skill system and the old calculators, you know that there's certain things that you're going to want to do that you can't do with that. But I want to see what they're going to show these new players, like, here's how you build. Alright, so what we're going to do here, come back. I did find a belt here. Put that on. I'm going to go ahead and sell everything at this guy here.
Found some interesting things on my latest dig. You should take a look.
See, only one white, a couple good blues here. Ah, see, I think this is new. I think only the blacksmith was able to repair at one point, but this guy's able to repair. So that's kind of nice to see. Oh, I am noticing that the chat window is up and available here. It wasn't available before. And unfortunately running into technical difficulties yet again. Really low frame rate with fraps. I may have to go ahead and restart things to get that back online. Let's just see what happens with the chain of scenery. Looks like there's still the bug with the door closed to CAIN'S house. Okay, I'm going to pick up the book, stop recording, and I will restart recording once I get a restart in. Thanks for your patience, guys. Alright, once again I have to apologize. This is Kage. We're going to continue our questing with the Demon Hunter.
Thank you for your help, but could you talk some sense into Leah? She won't give up on the idea of rescuing her uncle.
Nor should she. I will help her find him. How satisfying.
Alright, great timing for a level. Active skill slot once again. And now we have caltrips. So, looks like we unlock, basically because of this, we are unlocking a new skill slot a lot earlier than before. It used to be you didn't get this one for quite some time, if I recall right. You got 3 and then eventually 4. Usually I get this one right around when I'm helping Hadrig. So what we're looking at here is we've got caltrips. Let's go ahead and go in here, go back. This is our defensive skill, caltrips. 8 discipline, place a trap that slows enemies. Looks like I'm going to have to turn on the advanced tooltips again. Yep, I will. Alright, that's no problem. I can do that. As far as the caltrips are concerned, there has been change here. The movement speed reduction used to be 65%, so it's now 60%. So they've taken away a little bit of the snare there. Only about 8% though. But overall not bad considering the damage buffs they've been given. I've used that before. I could use this new skill slot for something else, honestly. I'm going to go ahead and put it on. Like I said, I'm going to use non-elective mode for now, just to kind of see where they gear players towards. I would rather probably have Hungering Arrow here with Bola Shot, so I would have 2 generators and just spam Impale when they're, when it's up. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and put this down. Let me see, Evasive Fire is at 8. So, alright.
Come, let us search for your uncle.
We'll need to open the cathedral first. The guards locked it up before they were ambushed. Rumford told me they fought their way back to ADRIA'S hut. The key must still be there.
There you go. Alright, let's go ahead and real quick go into gameplay. Advanced tooltips.
Here, let me open the gate. Adria was my mother, but I don't know much about her. She died when I was very young. I was raised by Uncle Deckard.
What of your father?
I'm told he was a great warrior who was lost when Tristram fell to the demons.
I think I can actually use those. Yep. Get rid of the old pair because it's still a gray.
Look, a hidden cellar. Follow me.
Your mother had her secrets.
People said she was a witch, but I never believed it. Captain Dalton!
Alright, even with caltrops down, he was pretty quick there. There we go. Vampiric Knuckles. Damage converted to life. No chest this time.
Here's the key, and my mother's journal. What I've seen of it is disturbing. I want to know more about her, but that can wait. We need to save Uncle Deckard first.
I will go. Stay here and learn what you can.
Thank you.
Aiden came to me last night. I suspected what was lurking within his troubled heart. I consoled him as best I could. Regardless, wherever he's headed, hell will surely follow in his wake. The shadows close in on Tristram once again. But like Aiden, I'll be gone before they fall.
Alright. It's actually kind of nice to unlock 3 skills this early, because I didn't really think about it a lot before, but early in the beta, you know, you get all these abilities, and you can't exactly, you know, pick them. You know, you get like 5 or 6 abilities in only 2 slots. So having a 3rd slot is really nice, even if it's kind of locked down to what kind of type you have to put into it right now. So I'm feeling pretty good with the damage. Bola shot, you know, even with its delay, is still not that bad now, especially since it does so much more damage to single target and AoE.
Cathedral. I am close to the falling star now.
The minor inconvenience of not being able to break barrels, really, again, is just kind of minor. It is something that can be replaced by having different abilities later on, of course. I'm going to tell you, right now I'm really tempted to turn off the directed mode with these, just so I can have the skills I want right away. But again, I just really want to see what they have in mind. So it's a limitation I'm going to pretty much live with for now. And obviously those of us who have played
So this is where the star fell.
know the skills.
Quarry must be near.
Who have played Diablo 2, even if you played Diablo 2 and you haven't played D3 yet, you might know what you want to do already. You may have played with the calculators already, so obviously elective mode is going to be for you even outside, you know, right out the gate, because you know what you're going to want. You really don't need your handheld like that. I mean, really all they're trying to do is make the game more accessible. To newbies and pros alike, you know. Let's turn this
The
off.
grotesques may seem slow and senseless, but they hide many dangers within their hideously malformed bodies. A set of spikes lurks beneath the monster's flesh, and foul parasites nest within them. It is said that these horrors themselves are constructed by a greater evil, a darkness that I cannot even fathom.
Oh yeah, I'm starting to feel the AoE potential Ebola here. I get caught up in spamming bolas that every now and then I forget to throw my knives. It's real easy to accidentally hit the same target multiple times with bola shot as well. Ah, we still have the empty equipment slot thing popping up. Is there actually an empty equipment slot that I have to worry about? Doesn't look like it, so still gonna remind me even if I don't have something to fill it. Alright, one moment here because all this got turned off apparently. Monster health bars and numbers and all that. Apparently, if you're kicked off, you're gonna. Looks like the hazards are being online again. Looks like if you're kicked off, kind of like World of Warcraft, if you haven't saved your settings and, in this case, possibly logged off and back on, you might find your settings haven't been saved if you get disconnected.
It's inside me. Inside.
That's what she said? I guess. Alright. Oh, a group to play with. Let's put that down. That wasn't what I wanted at all. Yeah, I like the damage buffs. I'm real interested in how they've changed the skills around too. So hoping to get as much experience as possible. We're at level 4 right now still. Our first rune will unlock at 6. That is really what I'm looking forward to. I am aware of the empty slot. Of course, now with the way they put locks on these, I've noticed that there's one minor cosmetic change that's a little better, is where the town portal will be. There is now a lock on there, so it's not just a blank box, which is more aesthetically pleasing. Area doesn't seem to be liking me too much when it comes to frame rate. There could be some issues with this build that maybe my system doesn't like necessarily with recording, of course. You know, the moment I turn off fraps, I'm sitting at over 100 frames, so I'm really not sure where my bottleneck is on that. Hello. Carrier of Death Glidewing. Didn't see any special properties on him. Oh, he's poisoned. Magic belt with thorns on it. Melee damage to 2 damage per hit. Let's put that on. Another one. Sorrow the Unforgiven. He is frozen. Okay, let's put that down. Good, it snared him. put another one down just to keep from getting frozen. So there you go. I mean, they are kind of teaching you from the beginning with this. You know, even if some of us, you know, again, might consider it hand-holding, it's like, well, here you go. You have an ability for when you run into these tougher monsters to get away. Even though I still don't appear to be taking a lot of damage. So they've done a tuning pass, but hard to really say if it's done much here. And right away I've got a +3 maximum discipline robe here, so we're going to go ahead and put that on. I kind of like that one. I found one like that on my male demon hunter on the last playthroughs, but didn't get a chance to equip it. And of course, as you can see, it is demon hunter only equipment, so very specifically tailored. That will not change appearance on other classes because they actually can't wear it. Alright, let's go ahead and what we can do is get some lore for you here while I'm exploring, just so you have something to listen to.
My name is Lackdanon, and I'm cursed. Once the captain of King Leoric's army, I left only to honor my land and my king. No man has a greater love for his king than I had for mine, even as I drove my blade through his dark and corrupted heart.
Okay, let's take a look here. Most of it explored. Pick up whatever gold I can, because I will want to look into crafting once that's available.
Not enough hatred.
Hey, it's a gray, but it's a hat. I don't have a hat. And if there's anything Valve has taught me, hats are good.
I could get accustomed to that.
Massive Tower of Hat is better. Level 5. Rapid Fire. Excellent. I am going to like this better than Impale, personally, I believe. Alright, 20 hatred initially, 10 hatred channeling, 228% weapon damage. So, less than Impale. And let me see, I do believe there was a change to that one. I'm just going to check my patch notes real quick. Fault, Impale, Hungering Arrow, Evasive. Nope, apparently not on that one. Let him hit me, he won't do nothing. Nope, okay, so no real change to Rapid Fire as far as buffs and nerfs are concerned. And apparently the Thorns damage did away with that for poor demon. So Rapid Fire, hit accept, there we go. So I now have Bola. Rapid Fire, Caltrops. Alright. And you can obviously tell this is something advanced users will want to change. Something like Evasive Fire, having it as a defensive and putting it on 1. Some people might want that as their primary. It does 125 weapon damage. It has been buffed. So it still is the strongest single attack. Most people are going to want that on their left mouse button. So again, we're just you're looking at what someone who's never really been here. You know, they want to kind of teach them what it's going to be like. Alright. To be honest with you, I'm not sure I want to keep Bola much longer. We'll see. Rapid Fire is pretty good though. It does do a decent amount of damage, especially with a good weapon, or good pair of weapons. Alright, we're in familiar territory here. What do we got? Ooh, a few zombies. See, and that felt good. I think a big portion of it, and the big portion I had a problem with before, was the Fury generators. not really being up to par with other generators that other classes had. And a big portion of that was the under 100% weapon damage abilities, such as Hungering Arrow doing 85, which now does, of course, 115. Alright, more lore for your ears.
It was Lazarus. Of that I am certain. He alone had a king here, and whispered dark and evil magics into it, instilling the notion of an imminent attack by Westmarch. Afraid to speak against the Archbishop, the councillors nodded their empty heads in agreement, and sent us off to die.
My hatred is too low.
Alright, already picking up some achievements. I will be keeping an eye on that because I would like to see if I can pick up all the beta achievements. It'd be nice to see if they're all finally fixed. Attack speed and crit bonus. That is especially nice with rapid fire. Looks like we finally found the exit. Sturdy books, huh?
Foul minions, stay back! Back! May this wet. The skeleton king?
The power of the fallen star awakened me, and soon all will suffer as I have suffered. Gods, bring me his bones!
Now, since I've gone through this scene and several like it with each character already, and I'll just do it one more for this character, I'll probably end up starting to skip scenes like this for the future playthroughs, since I'm sure a lot of people already do. No point in just rehashing all of the story content if you can see it on other playthroughs. I still like to keep the I like how my bolas can stack up on him. They will all blow up eventually. Oh, I got my elite kills in Legacy of Kain already. Very nice. But I do like to see the responses that your character may have with other characters in the story. So those I'll probably let play, but things like that where it's a scripted scene where I can just skip it, I'll probably go ahead and do so.
Oh, thank you. But why did you risk yourself for me?
Leah asked for my aid. She will be relieved to see you again.
Oh, it is wonderful to hear that Leah is well. I feared the worst. I learned of this secret passage through old maps I found.
So you can see, you can take up the achievements here. Some apparently are still kind of bugged. Elite kills 5. As you can see here, it shows up and it's got the little X. I can get rid of it. But let's look at Legacy of Kain. If I click on that, oh, okay, it's here. When I first looked at it, I didn't see that little X, so sometimes it looks like you can bug out and not have that there. If you run into that, you can just hit escape.
The fallen star. Follow me to Tristram.
Uncle, you're alive!
Thanks to you and your friend here.
I have but one request of you. What do you know of the fallen star?
Not much, I'm afraid, though the prophecy of the end days surely points to it as a sign that the end has begun.
Please, Uncle, not more of your stories. All that matters now is that you're back.
Of course, my non-mountain of hat is not a hat I can wear. Heavy is displeased. Alright, getting close, getting close. That level 6 is going to be the breaking point. I am so looking forward to it.
On my latest dig. You should take a look.
CAIN'S house still bugged.
The Skeleton King was once our beloved lord, Leoric. He was driven mad by Diablo's evil. He lost both of his sons and his very soul before he was finally defeated. Now it seems he's risen to plague this land once again.
A tragic story, but I cannot reach the fallen star until I face him.
The key to defeating him lies in his old crown. Seek out our blacksmith, Hadrig. He knows of its whereabouts.
Okay, what I'm looking at here is I was trying to see what kind of skills I'll be getting next. Judging from what we've got here, everything has been fairly close. A few changes here and there. We got Bola shot a lot earlier. Yeah, so things have definitely changed around. But what I'm looking at here is, it looks like they spread the skills out a lot more. Because Entangling Shot's going to be at 11. Chakram's at 12, so nothing there. Caltrops, or sorry, Evasive Fire here is at 8. I'm not going to get a skill next level. So it looks like what they've done is they've made it so that instead of gaining a skill every level, even through 1 to 30, because 1 to 30 was where you would get all your skills originally. Now you can get skills and runes. So what it looks like they're going to do is, instead of just giving me a new skill, they're going to start giving me runes for level 6. So level 6 and 7, so 11, 12, 8, so 8 and 9 being the next two abilities that I'm going to get. So 6 and 7 will probably give me runes for something. So that'll be interesting. So 6 and 7 are the skills to look, or the levels to look forward to right now. In the meantime, we got to go find Hadrig. Let's put this stuff in here for now.
Yes, I've got some new things in today that I'm...
Did you hear? Old Rumford has us down to half rations. How are we supposed to...
Blacksmith, Deckard Cain said you could help me find the crown of Leoric.
Not now. It's my wife. She's locked in the cellar like all those who've been bitten. I'm to put them all down. But how can I kill my own wife?
Sometimes death is the only mercy we have left. I will help you.
Thank you. Follow me. Hey, come over here.
Knock, knock.
Sorry.
Sorrow won't save your town, blacksmith.
And that lasted quite a while, didn't it?
Not enough hatred.
Unfortunately, the best time I had killing her was with the witch doctor, and I turned her into a chicken over and over again. It amused me, at least. Ooh, a bow. Thank you. Monster kills grant experience. It is less damage, but I want experience right now, so that's going to go into use.
I couldn't have done this without you. I'm in your debt. My name is Hadrig Aemon.
There is one favor I must ask of you. Do you know where Leoric's crown is?
I can help you there. It's buried with his chancellor, my grandfather. You'll find his tomb in a cemetery in the Weeping Hollow.
Oh,
and if you see
so
my
close.
fool apprentice out there, tell him to get back to town.
So very close. Alright, now, of course, if I do find a weapon much better, I will be swapping to it, because killing potential, being able to kill more faster is a little bit better.
Sure, I may do business with some unsavory types, but I pass the savings on to you.
So it's nice to see that repair can be done from any merchant now. I'm pretty sure that it wasn't available before this patch. Only from the blacksmith before.
There's a big pack coming this time. Stand your ground.
I have more control now.
That's the last of them.
Alright, let's see. Level 6. Hungering Arrow rune unlocked for Piercing Arrow. Very nice. Is that the only one unlocked? Looks like it. Let's look at our skills. Runes change your skills, making them more powerful and versatile. Alright, so basically what that's telling me is, at least for a new player, it's going to tell you, you probably want to replace your bolo shot with Hungering Arrow. And as you can see, now that runes are unlocked, here they are. The runes are actually available now to look at for even future skills. Like I can see bolo shot will be changed at level 8. So all the abilities are now available to view. At least all the abilities that I can actually select. See caltrips. And of course no rune, which leaves it alone. From what I can tell, every rune is a buff. I mean, why you wouldn't choose a rune, I'm not sure. Unless they've changed it to where some of them will cause slight nerfs or something like that, honestly. Or it could just be for flavor or for a challenge, you know. They don't want to force you to use them if you want to try in a different way. That's Blizzard's always been good about that. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to do Hungering Arrow. And our first rune available is Piercing Arrow. So basic we have 115 weapon damage, 35% chance to pierce. This one we have again 115, 35. So it does show the original skill at the top and then Piercing Arrow at the bottom. Increases the chance to pierce by 50 to 55%. That, honestly, is very nice. I'm going to put it on here, and as you can see here, the skill has changed its name here slightly. Hungering Arrow, it shows the rune with Piercing Arrow, and I can turn it on and off at will. It doesn't look like... Well, of course I have to put it on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if there's a cooldown incurred when you're just changing runes. We all know that you get a 30-second cooldown when you change skills. But changing runes on the fly is something we don't know yet. We're going to take a look at that. Looks like my cooldown's done. Let's change the rune, hit accept, and yes, you cannot change your rune for the duration of the cooldown. Alright, so I'm going to change that back because I like that 50% chance for it to pierce, and especially considering that this does 115 weapon damage now compared to Bolo, which is 130. I mean, I'm only missing 50% weapon damage there. And I'm getting this chance to pierce. It does instant damage. I don't have to wait a second. I like that already. So let's do it. We now have runes, everybody. This is a great day indeed. So many builds available now. So even at these low levels... He's frozen. Get away from him. So even at these low levels now, we have options. You can see the arrow looks a little bit different now too. It's kind of a black arrow. Well, these monsters are a little tougher. Damn. Okay, quiver. Now there has been a change to quivers. Supposedly before they couldn't give you plus the damage, or maybe they've made it baseline, because as you can see here, it looks like it's baseline now that quivers will give you a bonus to your damage. So using a two-handed bow will give you a damage bonus in the fact that you can now use quivers with it that will always give you plus damage. So there's something to consider now for using a two-handed weapon over using two one-handed weapons. So now I can actually get plus 1 to 2 damage and some other stats on me because the quiver's now doing the additional damage as a baseline. So that's really, honestly, really nice. Here we have some more defense and magic find, which isn't really that important at this point, but we don't need the maximum discipline right now anyway. So this is nice to see. Two-handed weapons builds becoming fairly viable, because honestly a lot of it was looking like two one-handers was going to beat everything out. Just go ahead and take a look at that skill for you there. Kind of like I said, a black arrow. I'm liking that chance to pierce. I'm really liking it that you're going to have customization this early in the game. Honestly, the more options that you get into the hands of the players, the better. And what this also does is when you get this low, and you notice the rune replaced me getting a new skill, but technically the skill is a little bit different now because of that rune, and when I get more runes they will be a lot different. This one's pretty basic. It's just going to pierce more. Okay, that's simple. But others are going to really start changing it up. I really like that. I've always liked that it could jump around and potentially hit so many targets. Slower attack speed, more damage because of the quiver. Works for me. That one jumped a few times. 50% is a pretty high proc chance, to be honest. These scavengers jump a good distance, don't they? Oh, that one just went back and forth through that whole group a couple times. See, this is great. I mean, if you notice something like that when a new player and all of a sudden watch these abilities that are suddenly doing all these really cool effects now, it kind of gives you a little more cause to want to play through, you know, more abilities and try all these new skills that you get. Kind of gives you incentive to level as well, you know, because you're going to unlock. This is the thing, and I mentioned this in the general video I did. Is you can now unlock abilities or runes and abilities. Well, all your abilities should come at level 30 still, like before. But now you have something to unlock all the way up to level 60. I never sat right with me that you would sit there, get all your abilities at level 30, and then from 30 to 60, oh boy, you level up, you get that really cool glow effect, and it congratulates you, but what's really happening there? What are you really getting out of it? You're getting more health, maybe, more damage, you know, passive ability buffs. But you're not really getting much else, you know, which is, you know, fine for some role-playing games, you know, like Final Fantasy and stuff like that. You usually spend quite a few levels before you gain a new ability. But we're talking about half the game here. Well, less than half, really, but let's face half your leveling game. You know, 1 to 30, you've got everything. 30 to 60, nothing. And you're sending 30 through 60 through 3 different difficulty modes, because they anticipate you hitting 30 at the end of normal mode. So, Nightmare in Hell, I'm basically leveling for the sake of leveling? Is that what it is? Well, now you don't have to worry about it. They've already stated that all the way through to level 60, there's something new to unlock. So that gives you that incentive to hit those final levels. Alright, health globes grant more. Ooh, 13 gold, grab that.